So it's true. The market is truly seeing a downturn. I'm not calling for a crash yet, but there is a big, I guess, pullback of demand and just price appreciation at this point. Basically, nothing is appreciating in price, and that is a sign of a downturn. And we have been obviously seeing this pullback for a little bit over a month now, and now being a little bit over a month into it, we're still seeing no signs of an upturn. Now, I'll always, go back to saying, like I've been saying for the past month, it will be interesting to see what happens towards the end of the year when holidays come around. Does the Pokemon market pick back up or does it not? I think a big indicator of, okay, maybe in hindsight, in a few months, if we do look back at this time, maybe this was really the start, right, of the crash of this market. If, for example, Phantasmal Flames, which you'll see here, it's gone down a little bit the past few weeks, like $20. But if Phantasmal Flames release is not that well received and prices go down quite a bit for booster boxes, maybe after we get second wave of product or whatever, and during the holidays, if sales don't really pick back up and we don't see any real big increases in price, I can then say, okay, maybe this is the start of the end. But I still think, as of right now, it is still too early to say anything. But I mean, I'm seeing a lot of signs just in the whole Pokemon investing space that things are cooling off. I'm looking at subreddits. There's no crazy people complaining about like scalpers and prices. It's kind of died down. Views in the whole Pokemon investing space are sort of down. Everything right now is down. There's no denying it. It is the facts. It is what's happening, and I'm going to tell you guys how it is straightforward. Like I told you guys, when the market really does see, some obvious signs of, okay, this is really the start of the dormant market that inevitably is going to happen, I'll tell you guys. And for right now, I'll tell you how it is. The market has slowed down a lot. It has. It's the facts. Yes. Can you still not find things on shelves? Sure. But if we're talking about how the market is on the secondary market, it's slowed down tremendously. It has. It's a fact, and it's not like an exaggeration thing. It has slowed down a lot. Like I said, I mean, the fact that everything right now has been going down, or has just stabilized from where it's gone down to, but literally nothing is going up at this point in terms of sealed, like nothing. That's a sign of a market where things aren't extremely strong. If we were seeing things still continue to go up, like let's say 50% of things were going up, 50% of things were going down, then there's more of an argument that the market's still pretty strong. But as it is, especially now, a little bit over a month into this pullback, we are definitely in a downturn as of right now. A few months, like about a month ago, when it was just starting, when all the drama was happening on YouTube, it was kind of hard to tell because it was only a few things that weren't going up a lot. Some things were seeing some slight pullbacks, things were stagnating. But at this point, I can say for a pretty big fact, we are seeing a slowdown. It's happening. So I'm just going to show you guys some of the products here that have been going down, and there's no signs of a super strong market. So first here, Phantasmal Flames. Now, Phantasmal Flames, you can see, has dropped from $320 down to now, still, I get it, it's still very expensive, $307. It's gone down, but sales volume has increased a little bit. But it has dropped in price. I mean, this is not a big deal, but I just wanted to mention that Phantasmal Flames has dropped down now to sub 310. Mega Evolution. I was making videos when Mega Evolution, just shortly after the second wave of supply, how it was going up at a pretty bit fast rate from 250 to 280 in like a couple of days. Well, it's come back down now to 265, and it seems like this is probably where it's going to stabilize at for a while. Sales volume is still pretty strong at maybe around 50 boxes per day, but yeah, I mean, looking at where it's dropped to and the amount of supply there is, I'm guessing it's probably going to stay in this range for a little bit of time. So I think 265 is where it's going to be at for a little bit. Now next here, so I made a video showing you guys prismatic evolutions and how it's still held very well during this whole pullback in the market, and it's still holding pretty well. But some products have been going down a little bit in the past few weeks here. Card prices I think are still pretty strong, but some of the sealed have seen a little bit of downturns. First here, ETBs. ETBs are now $130. It was at $140, and you can see in the past couple of weeks how it's dropped all the way now to $130. It's not like there's an abundance at $130. There's a few here, and then it goes to $135, but it has dropped like $10, so that has happened. Next tier, PC ETBs have dropped from $400 all the way now down to 370s. They have dropped about like what 10%. So that has also happened to the PC ETBs. Next here, the booster bundles. The booster bundles have continuously dropped all the way from a month ago around like $65 to $60 and now down to $55. So prismatic sealed is even going down a little bit. Obviously not by a huge margin, but it is going down. So that's worth noting. Next here, just Paladin Fates has been going down and consistently. You can see it was about $300. Now it's $270. So Paladin Fates has been going down. The one thing I can say that really hasn't been going down has been 151. 151 still is holding pretty strong. The ETB, I believe, is still $400, and it really hasn't dropped. But Paladin Fates has been going down. Next year, this is the last for Scarlet and Violet. Destined Rivals. You can see a big slowdown. I mean, it could just be a off week, but the past week, the sales volume for Destined Rivals has been extremely low comparatively. If you look here, when it was around the same price, still about 20 boxes were selling a day. Now, if you look at the past week, less than 10 boxes have been really selling. It's been like anywhere from 5 to like 8. So that's a big slowdown for Destined Rivals being a very hype set, always talked about. It is slowing down quite a bit here. I mean, this is pretty low sales volume for about a whole week. And you saw before here, sales were even higher when the prices were higher even here. So you can see just the dramatic difference in sales volume from even this time period, right? Comparing now, these like time periods, it's definitely slowed down in the past week here. Now moving on to Sword and Shield. This is one of the areas that in the market has actually still continuously gone down. It seems like so many things are still finding a bottom. Fusion Strike is now in the lower 900s. It was just under 1,000. Now you can find them in the lower 900s. If you go on eBay, you can check to see if these are any cheaper there. But now you can find them in the lower 900s. At one point it was 1,050, so it's dropped about $100. I mean, that's still only 10%, but it has continued to drop a little bit more down to lower 900s. Next year, Astral now is sub 400, guys. Astral is obviously a set that's not in high demand. I mean, guys, look at the sales volume here. 2 boxes have sold within the last month, which is absolutely ridiculously low, and people have just continued to list, and no one's buying these because Astral is not popular. So these are $380, but no one's even buying them. Astral definitely, you can see here, in terms of popular sets, it's definitely not one of them, and you can see that reflected in the sales volume. Nobody is buying Astral Radiance. Next here, Lost Origin. Guys, Lost Origin is a top tier Sword and Shield set, and even this box, guys, look at this month of sales. You can literally count on 2 hands how many boxes sold. 6 here, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so maybe not one hand, but 12 boxes sold. Well, if I counted right, in 1 month. That is extremely low. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, you guys can just see here yourself how little boxes have really been selling. So Lost Origin, even a top tier set, has continuously also gone down in price, now in the low 700s, and still no one's buying them. Next here, Silver Tempest at 420. This at one point was in the mid 5s, and even continuously going down in price. Guys, the sales volume speaks for itself. Nobody is really buying. 1 box here and there, and that is it. Look at the sales volume, in comparison. So there is no doubtedly, the data showing that the market has slowed down tremendously, and it is what's happening. So I'll continue to make videos and update you guys and speak about this market, but things are truly slowing down. There's not much action going on, and it is what is happening. And anyone out there that is saying anything differently, I mean, just look for yourself, guys. Market is really slowing down. So that's all I want to share with you all. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.